What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the upcoming Jordan Apex Utility. Last September, Jordan Brand officially announced a new line of sneakers that actually utilize technologies only utilized before by Nike. Now, if you weren't aware, technically Nike and Jordan Brand are separate companies, so by using these same technologies, this is almost a collaboration. 3 sneakers were originally announced at this event, the first being the Jordan Proto React, the second being the Jordan Proto Max 720, which, by the way, I've already reviewed, so if you'd like to check out that video for yourself, make sure to click the link at the top of the screen. And then finally, the flagship of the line, the Jordan Apex Utility. This sneaker is interesting not only because it uses proprietary Nike technology and not only because it's got this sort of outlandish look, but mainly because this is one of the rare Jordan lifestyle silhouettes where they actually really try something different. So that begs the question, will this be the next Jordan Brand hit, or will this just be another silhouette that fades into obscurity? To answer that question, let's dig a little bit deeper into the sneaker itself. The entire upper of the shoe is covered in this translucent woven mesh that Nike is calling Next-Kin Upper. It's pretty much the same exact material that you find on the Proto Max 720s and also the Element React 87s. One question that I originally had about this mesh was whether it was waterproof, and I can tell you after testing it, it's not. The mesh definitely gives this sneaker sort of a rain boot look, and at first I didn't like it, but the more I started to look at it and the first time I saw it in hand at Charlotte, I actually kind of liked it. Like the Element Reacts, you can actually see through this mesh, and that's really where this sneaker gets interesting because underneath this mesh, you've actually got a full Flyknit Air Jordan 1. So as you can see through the mesh on the toe, you've actually got what looks to be a Bred Air Jordan 1 upper. And the reason you're led to think that is because the Flyknit on the toe is red and black, like a Bred 1. But then as you move back on the sneaker, you might be dismayed to find out that the rest of the Flyknit upper is just plain black. Up until getting this sneaker in hand, I really thought that there was a full Flyknit Bred 1 underneath the mesh, but I'm kind of disappointed that there isn't because I feel like the red on the midfoot would look really good. As for the actual feel of the dual layered upper, I've got to say, it's a little bit warm. One thing that I really liked about the Flyknit Jordan 1s was that they were very flexible and very breathable, but by layering this sort of plastic mesh on top of the Flyknit, you lose a lot of that breathability. It's still relatively flexible, but it does kind of feel like you're wearing a sock on top of a sock. And I don't know if that's something you've ever done before. I have, and that seems to be exactly what it feels like. Visually though, I don't mind the way these two materials look, and I actually think it gives the shoe a very futuristic feel, which I really dig. Running up the center of the toe, you've got a stitch that holds the 2 different pieces of the Next-Kin upper together. Around either side of the toe, you've got these pieces of clear fuse overlay for added durability. As you move back on the sneaker, around the sides of the tongue, and actually all the way around the sneaker, you've got this black material with these black loops that actually act as eyelets for the laces. So in theory, you could actually lace the sneaker all the way up, kind of like a Bape hoodie. Not that anyone would ever do that, but you could if you wanted to. Weaving through the eyelets, you've got these black flat laces, and on the lateral side underneath the eyelets, you've got the word Jumpman printed in red, and on the medial side, you have the coordinates to Nike's headquarters. Underneath the laces, like the upper of the sneaker, you've got a dual layered tongue with Next-Kin on top of Flyknit. These two materials are actually held together by a button that you can actually unbutton and hide your laces in if you want to. The plastic mesh layer actually has some black printed text on the lateral side, and also a 3M patch just for that added bit of pop. Both layers of the tongue have pull tabs. The outer layer has this small black pull tab, and the Flyknit layer has this bright red pull tab with the word Visitor printed onto it. Inside the shoe, you've got this black leather sock liner, which definitely makes the interior of the shoe feel premium, but also contributes to the overall temperature of the inside of the shoe. Don't wear the shoe without socks, your feet will sweat. The insole of the sneaker comes in black with the Jumpman logo and the word Jumpman printed in red. As for fit, the Jordan Apex Utility fit me pretty much true to size. However, I do have to say that it was a little bit tight. And actually, not only was it tight, it was also a little bit difficult to get into. Once I actually got my foot into the sneaker though, it did feel pretty good, but if you like a looser fit or if you have wider feet, I would probably suggest going up half a size. But as I always suggest, if you have a chance to try the sneaker on first before you buy it, make sure to do that to make sure you're getting the right size for you. Continuing back on the sneaker, you've got this black adjustable Velcro heel strap with this red paracord on the end. The strap actually comes out of the mesh upper and then wraps back on itself on the medial side. And underneath the strap on the heel, you've got this red patch with the black Jumpman logo. Surprisingly, the strap actually does a lot for heel lockdown, and if it's closed when you're trying to put the shoe on, you're not going to get the shoe on. It's a nice feature and one that's also used on the Proto Max 720s and the Proto Reacts. Then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got another red pull tab with the word Visitor printed on it, and also a 3M accent at the base of the heel. Something that you can't see on the midfoot because of this plastic mesh is that there's actually a black fuse overlay Nike swoosh on top of the Flyknit. Now, if this had actually been a bread colorway, that swoosh would have been red, you would have been able to see it through the mesh, and in my opinion, I think it would have looked better. But that's totally just my opinion. I still think it's a nice looking upper. Then moving down on the shoe, you get to my favorite part of the entire sneaker, and that's this beefy React midsole. React is Nike's insanely soft foam midsole cushion, and I really love the way it feels on this shoe, and I really wish they used it on more Jordan models. I honestly think that's the most standout feature on the shoe. Even though it's not the most visually appealing, it's by far the most important. I love the React foam, I love the way it feels underfoot. I just wish that Jordan Brand would put it in some of their retro models. I think that'd be a really cool touch. It would be really cool if Jordan Brand did something like the Kobe Protros on the original retros. I think doing something like adding React foam in the midsole would be just such a huge improvement. Regardless, I think the React foam was a great addition on the Jordan Apex utility. Then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got what Nike calls computational herringbone traction, which kind of just looks like intestines, I'm gonna be honest. The front half and the back half of the outsole are covered in pretty thick rubber, so you get some nice durability around the heel and the toe. The midfoot, however, is just exposed React foam, which I don't love because I think it wears down a little bit faster than rubber. And then rounding off the outsole, you've got a bright red Jumpman in the center. Overall, the Jordan Apex utility is a very cool experiment by Jordan Brand and Nike. I love the fact that Jordan Brand is trying new things and utilizing technology from Nike like this React foam. Again, it's my favorite part of the shoe. This sneaker also doesn't look bad either. It definitely has sort of a rain boot or even moon boot feel to it, so if you don't like that look, you're not gonna like this shoe. But overall, I think it's a pretty interesting new sneaker. Even though the upper can get a little hot and constricting at times, it's still surprisingly comfortable, and the React midsole just really pushes the comfort of this sneaker over the top. Will the Jordan Apex utility be the hottest Jordan sneaker to drop this year? Probably not. Will it be popular next year? Probably not. But I think it's a very cool effort and experimentation by Jordan Brand, and one that might even justify the crazy $200 price point. If you're trying to grab a pair of the Jordan Apex utilities for yourself, they drop on the Sneakers app on March 14th. But that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Now I would love to know your thoughts on the Jordan Apex utility and whether you're planning to grab a pair for yourself on March 14th when they officially drop. So make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.